Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Pointless Top 10, a show where we make top 10 lists of pointless things. Why are we flying by his pointless statue in Booty Bay? Because inside pointless things are treasure. Let's begin. 10. Number 10 is a combination of these birds in this bird cage in Suramar and the birds located at this encampment up in the mountains at Stormsong Valley. And the reason I combine them is I'm pretty sure these are the same birds. Some of them are skinned differently, but they're all pretty much the same bird, just in different situations. And I love the Suramar bird cage because I haven't really seen anything like this in the game. I think this was created for Suramar, and I don't know if they've ever used it again. If they have, I haven't found it. It might be in the game. They've reused stuff, but I just think it looks so cool. It's got little feeder things and some hay or straw in there, and then the birds are just chilling, having a good time. Well, I think they're having a good time. I don't know. They're in a cage. In fact, the only reason I knew this existed was I Googled World of Warcraft birds, and this popped up, and I was like, I don't know where this is. It looks like it'd be in Suramar, and I just kept looking around until I found it, and I was like, there it is. And then there's this area up in the mountains where these birds are just hanging out at this campsite. There's some spilled grain on the ground that I think they're eating, and they're just kind of hanging out at this tent. And so I was like, it's a really nice area, right? I put it on vacation spots for a reason. You can sit up here with the birds. You can look out into the landscape of the mountains and down below. It's very nice. And so that's why I decided to put it along with the bird cage at number 10. 9. Number 9 are the Grain Hunter Hawks, and the Grain Hunter Hawks are located at the Plain of Thieves in the Valley of the Four Winds. And the Plain of Thieves is a grassy flatland found between the Imperial Granary and the Gliding Stream in South Central Valley of the Four Winds, and it is here that the Hawks and the Sprites have been taking grain they stole from the Imperial Granary. And so I actually didn't know this, but the Sprites are here because they were accidentally brought in through cheaply purchased grain. So I guess all the cheap grain has like sprites in it or something, like, I don't know. And then the hawks are here because they're just birds that are hungry. So yeah, that's really it. But I love these birds because it's not every day that you see birds flying around with bags of grain or really just bags of anything. Like normally you just see birds and they're just flying, right? But that's one of the reasons I wanted to put them in Pointless Top 10. In fact, these birds are what made me write down birds for Pointless Top 10. So in a way, this Pointless Top 10 is inspired by these grain flying birds. And so that's why I had to put them on the list. At number 9. 8. Number 8 is Gut Ripper, and Gut Ripper is a Windrock located in northern Classic Nagrand, and she's part of the quest Windrock Mastery, where Shadow Fitz Farstrider wants her dead. And Gut Ripper is actually the mother of all Windrocks. It says here that Windrocks appear to have a matriarchal society, with all of the current Windrocks descending from Gut Ripper. Gut Ripper is actually faster than an epic mount, and you are unable to kite her because of that, and she's immune to roots and snares. So obviously now you can go and kill Gut Ripper and be like, whatever, but back then, Gut Ripper was actually a pretty difficult fight, and they used to be elite, but in Cataclysm, they had their elite status removed. And so whenever I think of Nagrand, I always do kind of think of the elite animals that were all over this area, and Gut Ripper being one of them. I was like, what's that bird that was really elite and hard to kill? And I was like, oh yeah, it's Gut Ripper. I should probably put them on the list. And so I did, and that's why Gut Ripper is number 8. 7. Number 7 are the axe beaks, and these are really cool birds because their beaks are kind of like weapons. And so there's numerous types of axe beaks. There's the blighted axe beaks, the bloodthirsty axe beaks, canopy axe beaks, greater, highlands, jungle, putrid, vibrant, wandering, yellow feather axe beaks, but I picked the territorial axe beaks because I just think it's a cool little area in the Waking Shores. They kind of look like toucans, although I guess a lot of the axe beaks do, but it seems like these are the most chill axe beaks. They're just flying around. They're just sitting on trees and logs. And I don't know. I think they look really cool. And I wanted to put axe beaks on this list, but I was trying to determine which ones did I want to put on the list. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to pick this area because I like the environment they're in. I like the axe beaks here. And most importantly, there's ducks nearby, which could also be on the list. Well, I guess they kind of are on the list now. In fact, I don't know why I didn't put ducks on this list. So I guess ducks are joining the axe beaks at number 7. Listen, it's my top 10 list. I can do what I want. So that's why the axe beaks and the ducks are number 7. 6. Number 6 is Aviash, and Aviash is Lasan Skyhorn's eagle mount who accompanies him throughout places like High Mountain, the Onaran Plains, Voldoon, Dazaralor, and Orgrimmar and Stormwind. And if you don't know Lasan Skyhorn, he is the chieftain of the Skyhorn tribe, which is one of the 4 tribes of the High Mountain Tauren. And I decided to lump in the Ohuna here as well because the Ohuna are a race of eagles native to the Dragon Isles. You can actually see them sitting here in the Onaran Plains next to Aviash. And this is definitely one of those pointless top 10s where there's so many birds that I don't mind combining some birds with others because they're, you know, kind of similar, they're near each other and stuff, because there's a lot of birds in this game, all right? When I was looking for top 10 birds, I was like, I could probably make 10 or 20 lists of birds. Like, there's so many birds, but I don't know. I think Aviash is really cool. The fact that it's like this great eagle mount and the Tauren rides around on this great eagle mount. Like, I just think that's pretty sick. So that's why I decided to put Aviash and the Ohuna Eagles at number 6. 5. Number 5 are the Kakapo, and the Kakapo are flightless parrots with long lifespans that hop around on the ground and shake fruits from trees. And I just love the way these move, just the way they hop, and they're just like doop, 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 doop. And these ones are the spring waddlers, which are native to the Isle of Dorne. And it says here that the kakapo is a species of large flightless parrot typically found in New Zealand, and the kakapo model in World of Warcraft is actually using the Sky Screamer skeleton. So it's kind of funny that this little tiny bird hopping around is using the same skeleton as the big pterodactyl monsters. That's kind of funny. And so yeah, they're just these happy little bird guys hopping around, going all over the mountains through the grass. It actually says here that the kakapo can live up to 90 years, which is pretty insane, although it says their average lifespan is about 60 years, which is still pretty insane, to be honest. And so when I ran into these birds on the Isle of Dorne for the first time, I was like, I love these. These have to be on a list, and what a better list for them than birds. So that's why the kakapo are number 5. 4. Number 4 is G-Kun, and G-Kun is the 6th boss encounter in the Throne of Thunder in the Mist of Pandaria. And so according to the adventure guide, Mogu flesh shapers discarded their failed creations in an abyssal shaft beneath Lei Shen's keep. The reek of decay lured many scavengers to the refuse pit, including the great G-Kun. Ruthless and cunning, the monstrous bird devoured her rivals one by one until she held sole dominion over the shadowy tunnel. And so that makes G-Kun pretty awesome in my mind. Like, out of all the birds in World of Warcraft, this monstrous bird just is like, yo, there's like some decaying stuff here to eat. And they go down here and they fight off all the other scavengers trying to get everything and then just take it over. And now this is their domain. I also think this area just looks really cool, the boss room in general. I also wanted to do a top 10 boss rooms or raid rooms or something like that, so that'll probably happen in the future. But I think G-Kun's great, definitely one of the best birds in World of Warcraft, maybe one of the most powerful birds, and so that's why they're number 4. 3. Number 3 are the parrots that belong to Tan Lotus Wind in Ediport in Drustvar, and they're named Barry, Clear Skies, and Jade Hurricane. And so each parrot is a different color. You've got red, green, and blue. And if you talk to Tan, he says, Torn Sail and his people are bad for business. If it gets much worse, I might just take my birds and leave. And then he says, parrots are far more intelligent and interesting than a kite, even if they scream for fun sometimes. And so I think they got their names based on their color. I feel like Berry is probably red because, you know, a lot of berries are red. Clear Skies is blue because the sky is blue. And then Jade Hurricane is green because Jade. And after you finish a bunch of quests here, you actually get to have him become the flight master for the area with his birds sitting around. So that's pretty cool. Also, shout out to Miranda the Falcon, who's a cool falcon that's tied up by a ball and chain, and then you end up doing a quest where you free her, and then she just chills here pretty close to the other birds. And so that's why Barry, Clear Skies, Jade Hurricane, and Miranda the Falcon are number 3. 2. Number 2 is the chicken playing a troll guitar located in the Valley of the Four Winds. And if this isn't a pointless bird, I don't know what is. Like, he's just randomly here. He's holding this guitar that, like, he's not even holding. Like, he's moving around, but the guitar is just staying completely static. Like, he's not moving the guitar. Like, look at that. It's just... it's such a weird looking thing. He's got a little cup for tips, so you can walk by and toss a, you know, silver or a bronze piece in there, maybe a gold if you're feeling crazy. And I mean, the guitar is pretty cool. It's got this totem troll look to it. It's got some glowy fire stuff coming off of it. It's got little bones that are stringing stuff together. Like, overall, the guitar itself is pretty cool, and then the chicken's just here as well. But it's the weirdest thing because you would think that he would be holding it. So it must have been some developer created this and then did it as a joke. Like, I have no idea, but I think it's amazing. And so that's why the chicken playing a troll guitar is number 2. 1. And number 1 is Pepe. And the more I thought about it, the more I was like, I think Pepe does deserve to be number 1 on this list. Like, he's definitely the most well-known bird in World of Warcraft. Everybody has probably seen Pepe, if not, you know, interacted with Pepe. He's got various types. You've got Pirate Pepe. You've got Viking Pepe. you've got Ninja Pepe, you've got Knight Pepe, and then you've just got normal Pepe, who's also great. And Pepe was created by 3D artist Jordan Powers, who I did interview for one of my WoW interview videos, and he created Pepe almost 2 years prior to the release of Warlords of Draenor to help breathe some life into a 3D project. Powers began including the little bird in all of his work, later giving him a name and eventually a personality. And out of all the versions of Pepe, I wish they would have used Monstrous Pepe, which was going to be a Hearthstone card for kobolds and catacombs, and it was just like Pepe with this giant ripped like ogre bird body, and then they decided not to use it for whatever reason. I don't know, but I thought that was the best one. So overall, Pepe, easily the most notable bird in World of Warcraft, and that's why he's number one. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this episode of Pointless Top 10. Make sure to like the video, and if you want more Top 10s, you can go check out Quillboars from last week. That was a pretty fun one. Or you can go check out Frogs if you want more animals. I just kind of randomly picked frogs, but there is a Top 10 frogs. Go check it out. Okay? Okay. See you.